This week I'm coming to you live on location from the Mesa Sheraton in Wrigleyville, where the Arizona State Summer Show is happening. It is this weekend. There is a kids trade night this weekend. There is a lot going on. As you can see from the show, it is busy. This is one of the most packed things. Hopefully I'll have the video for you from Fox 10 News local. I went live on air, but let's get into the show.
Edi Sports Show, every Friday, hot take, what's the market, behind the scenes from the car shows to the streets. There's only one show, there's only one show I wanna watch, Edi Sports Show, every Friday.
Welcome back to Edi Sports Show. I'm your host, Doc Schwartz, and like I said, I am coming to you live on location from the Mesa Wrigleyville Sheraton right here at Arizona State Summer Show. We've got a big show for you, so stick around. Here are the graphics on the show for all the different segments. I'm going to go over them, and at the very end, I get into your viewer comments, so stay tuned. Now let's take a look at this week's Card of the Week. This week's Card of the Week is the Joe Namath rookie card from 1965. Joe Namath played 13 seasons with the New York Jets and LA Rams from 1965 to 1977, was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, AFL Rookie of the Year, and won Super Bowl number 3. So the big question that I keep getting is, what is the sports card market going to actually do? Is it going up? Is it going down? What should I do with my cards? Last week, I just told you guys that you should sell all your cards. And so the question is, was I right or was I wrong? You just saw the type of crowd that we had at the Mesa show here in Arizona, and crowds are huge. And in fact, that's what's going on across the country, which is why I keep telling you, now's the time to sell your cards, and this is the reason why. Because the data is showing that the market is going to be going into a downturn. I understand that the market has already done a downturn. I understand that. But what you need to understand is the economics are not behind the cards anymore. I know that you're not believing that. I know that that doesn't make any sense. I understand. But trust me, the economics are not behind your cards. If you sell them now, you'll be able to cash out some of your money, get the money back, and wait 12 months. You will be able to pick these cards up for less, because that's what's going to happen. Now, when exactly the market's going to crash, nobody knows. Again, there's no crystal ball out there, but what we're talking about is probably within 12 months. So my honest opinion, based on the economy, based on where we're going, you're going to see unemployment start to tick up a couple months here. So August, September, October, going into the holiday season. And then at the beginning of next year, 2025, and I said this a few weeks ago, I said, wait a couple years, because these cards are going to be a lot cheaper on the back end. And that's what you want to do. If you're a collector, all you want is you want these cards. So now's the time to sell them, cash out, and then buy them back when the market comes down again. Now, I'm working on, again, I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and working on research. So one of the things I'm working on is the top 100 players in the hobby. I am very close to having that done. So once you get that, it will be totally free to get that magazine, Card Hoarder Magazine, the top 100 players in the hobby. Those are the players that are going to be the more longevity players. Those are going to be the players that after this crash, you're going to actually be able to not just pick up, but they will be the ones that will be gaining in value after that. So you'll be able to pick up the cards cheaper in 12 months. And then after that, there will be another. It won't be a bubble. Again, unless something crazy happens, there won't be another bubble. but at least you'll have an upswing in value after that. And that can probably run a couple years. So be prepared. It's going to get rough as things go down coming up. What's going on this week and where's the market? What I thought I would do this week with Where's the Market was actually do a react video to Ty from Chasing Cardboard, who started to actually talk about the problem with wax boxes and how much of a ripoff they actually are, which I thought was so interesting because I've already done an entire video about that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a couple different video clips from the video that he did. And then I'm gonna react to it. All right, so if you're ready, let's get to it.
Days. 5 years ago, you could have walked into any of these Walmarts or Targets and basically purchased any sort of sports cards that you wanted. With the boom that happened from 19 to 22, things have changed. And that's what we're finding here. There's slim pickings for all of the good stuff, and the buyers have become very selective, no pun intended, over what products they grab, because they know which ones will sell well, and which ones are just not worth purchasing at all.
Ty makes a really important point right there, is what is actually going to sell and what is worth buying. And that's the problem, is that a lot of people are just buying any wax thinking that everything is equal, and that if you're spending, let's say on Topps Chrome, $49 for a blaster box, that you're going to get the value back. And that's just not the case. They went into 10 different Walmarts on a trip from Florida to New Orleans, and they were buying specifically 2023-24 Prism or Donruss for Wemby cards, because Wemby is the most valuable card in that set. And basically, if you get anything else, it's just not worth it. And so that's what they were looking for specifically. And then he goes into this Walmart, which was the number 8 Walmart on the list. So they went to 10. And on number 8, they found these boxes. And so I'm going to show you, this is what the cashier saw. So you can see they bought 1, 2, 3, they bought 8 boxes. And that's it on the cash register, so on the conveyor belt. And then I'm going to show you what the video says, because you're not going to believe this. This is hilarious. Basically, Ty admits that he completely wasted his money. Like, he just tells you, honestly, I don't know why we just did that. Why did we just waste $600? And I'm going to say this to you guys. $600. Can you imagine how many cards that you actually want that you could buy for $600? You could buy a Wemby for $600. You don't need to get these wax. You don't need to buy the wax. If you're going to spend $600 to $1,000 on wax, you might as well just buy the one card you want. Or take that to a show, and for $1,000 you could probably get 5 or 6 cards for that kind of money, because the dealer's going to make a deal with you. For $1,000, they will make a deal with you. A dealer wants $1,000, so they'll lower their price if you're willing to spend the money. Don't buy wax. Please stop buying wax. That's my advice. Stop buying wax. All right, let's take a look at what Ty says at the end of this video, because this is great. This is great.
Buying one measly box, you should just buy them all.
We're gonna buy all those.
I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry you had to see this.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I know so much more I could spend this kind of money on.
Like what? What would you spend this kind of?
Groceries.
Okay, that's fair.
The cashier was exactly right. Groceries would have been a much better investment.
Yes, the cashier was right. This would have been better off spending on groceries or necessities or things that you actually need. Ty just wasted $650 or $629. They had bought one box before, so $650. In fact, later on in the video, they spend another $1,000 on wax boxes that they get nothing out of. Like, they literally get nothing out of you're just wasting your money. I hope this is a lesson to all of you. Obviously, Chasing Cardboard is a much bigger channel than mine, so hopefully people are starting to hear the common sense. Like, stop buying wax. Stop buying wax. There's no good from buying wax except for wasting your money. I don't want you to do that. That's why you're subscribed to this channel, because you don't want to waste your money anymore. You want to make smart decisions. All right, that's it for Where's the Market. Let's get to behind the scenes. In this week's Behind the Scenes, I figured I would do another mail day. So actually, these are the cards that I was picking up. So if you're with me last week, you saw that I showed you the 3 Gary Carter cards. So you got this one, you got the 83, and you got the 85. I also got in the mail, I got a Philip Hedel rookie card, and I also got a French Braden Schneider rookie card. So there you go. Did not pay what the sticker is on that, just to be aware. And then I also did pick up a bunch of these cards, so I'll go over those in a second. But I wanted to actually open this up so that we can look at them together. And so here we go. So I got a, I guess they taped it all into a thick sleeve. So here we go. Yes, we do. We've got a Will Cooley Young Gun. Okay. We've got a autograph Barry Beck. And just, I don't know why I like defensemen, but I do. And then a Mike Richter rookie card. Okay, so there you go, Mike Richter rookie card. So that's what I got in the mail. That was actually from Canada, so thanks from Vancouver in Canada. And then there is a new card shop that just opened up near me. And so I don't know if you guys, so here we go. There's a few of the cards that I picked up. So this is a Richard Jefferson auto on a basketball. I thought that was kind of cool. I picked up a Jeter rookie because you know what? There is nothing wrong with picking up a Jeter rookie. He will sell no matter what. So I'm gonna put this under the loop and see what I think it might get as a grade. And then I'll send this one in because this is worth grading because this one will sell no matter what. Now, it depends on if it's an 8 or 9. Obviously, I doubt it's a 10. But if it's an 8 or a 9, it might be worth grading and might be worth sending in. All right, and I also picked up another Alonso rookie. I just like Pete Alonso. I got a Barry Sanders. I got a Wayne Gretzky. I got a Nolan Ryan. I am a huge Alonzo Mourning fan, so here we go. We got Alonzo Mourning. Donovan Mitchell, rookie. I did not have this one, so I picked that up. This is Dr. J. I did not have one Dr. J, and so this is the one that I picked up. There we go. Mean Joe Green. So, you know, if for anybody that's old enough to remember, there was the famous Coke commercial where Mean Joe Green throws his jersey at a kid and says, hey, here you go. I mean, it's probably the most famous commercial ever. And so that's Mean Joe. I got a second one. And then I picked up an English version of Braden Schneider. So I had the French version. So let's see that. So let's show you the difference. So you've got the French version and you've got the English version. So you can kind of see. So I picked up both of those. And then I also got a Quentin Byfield. I got an Owen Power. I picked up another Keandre Miller because it was cheap. I got myself a Jamie Drysdale. I got a Matty Beniers, who was actually the Rookie of the Year. And then a Marco Rossi, who looks like he might be a really good goal scorer. And then I picked up one Caitlin Clark. This is not an expensive card at all. And this, I actually am looking to pick up a couple Caitlin Clarks. Not going to be on the high end at all, but Caitlin Clark is going into the PC. She's unbelievable. And then if you remember the card of the week last week, this is a Buck Williams autographed card. There you go, Buck Williams from the New Jersey Nets. If you see the banner on the back, so the New Jersey Nets banner there is actually autographed by Buck Williams and a couple of the other players that used to play for the Nets. I got it signed when I was a kid. Used to go to a lot of New Jersey Nets games. The stadium was about 20 minutes from where I grew up. And so we used to go with my dad, and I got that, banner signed. And so finding a Buck Williams was great. If you see the two basketballs that are on top of the bookcase, so those are the two NBA Finals appearances for the New Jersey Nets. The first one, the white one, is against the Lakers when they ran up against Shaq, and Shaq destroyed them. And then the second one is against the Spurs, running up against Tim Duncan. Again, you can't go against these guys and think you're going to win, but those are the two finals that the New Jersey Nets were in, and Richard Jefferson was part of that team. So I'm going to actually try to pick up the autos of the guys. So Keith Van Horn, Kenyon Martin, I already got Richard Jefferson, and I'd like to get Jason Kidd. That was the point guard of the team. If I can get an auto from them, because they have autos of Jason Kidd with Dallas, but I don't want Dallas. I want the Nets. So that's a little bit harder. It's harder to find a card with Jason Kidd in a Nets jersey with an auto. So I'm gonna be looking for that. But there you go. That's behind the scenes. I figured I would tell you guys about that. Now I am working on this new thing. So I figured I would just say this right now, is I am working on a dealer network. And I created this Google form. The link is down below, but this is a preview of the Google form. What this does is if you're looking to sell your cards, like let's say you inherited a whole bunch of cards, okay? And you don't know what you're gonna do with them. Maybe you wanna save some of them. Maybe you wanna sell most. A lot of you are like, well, what should I save? My recommendation, if you inherit cards from anybody, from your grandparents, from your uncles, from your dad, from your sister, from anybody that has cards and they've given you these cards, my suggestion is pick 10 cards that will have sentimental value for you. That's going to be what you keep. So keep 10 cards for sentimental value. That's what you can carry around and not make it a hoard, make it a problem. If you don't like cards and you have cards, then this is my recommendation. Keep 10, that's your PC, that's sentimental value, and then sell the rest. The problem is, where do you sell them? And so that's what I'm doing, is putting together a dealer network for dealers who are looking to buy cards. So if you're looking to buy cards, like if you're watching this going, I want to know how can I buy collections, then you want to sign up for this Google form, because then you will be able to get, people DM me all the time, I have these cards, I want to sell them, and they're hoping that I will buy them, but I'm not buying collections at this point. So I can just sort of facilitate getting you in touch with a dealer, but what we need is a dealer network. Therefore, when people DM me, I have someone to send them to, because if I don't have anybody to send them to, they contact me, and I really don't have anybody to recommend. So if you're a dealer or you're looking to buy collections, and again, buying in bulk is probably the easiest way and the best way to build up your PC, because you're going to get a deal on buying bulk. So my suggestion is, if you're looking to buy, sign up for that Google form. Now let's get to your viewer comments. We have come to my favorite part of the show, and this is why. I think that your comments have been outstanding, and I have picked out 3 new comments to go over this week. They are unbelievably good, and I can't wait to share them with you and then make a comment. If you haven't made a comment yourself, I highly encourage you to put it down right now. If you're arguing with someone about the hobby and they just want to say like, no, I'm right and you're wrong, tell them to put a comment down of whatever they're arguing, and I'll kind of put them back in their place. If they're wrong, Then again, if you're wrong, you're going to find out why you're wrong. Now, before we get to that, I wanted to highlight the latest poll on this channel. If you haven't been to the community tab, please go. There is the poll. This is, in your opinion, are there more scammers in the hobby now or back in the day? So anybody that has been collecting for a while, please let me know. Do you think there's more scams today, or were there more scams back in the day? All right, let's get to the first comment. This is from Freedom Fight 1933, and this is a great comment. So here we go. It's kind of a weird argument you are making. Why would you be so annoyed, and you obviously are, about overpriced listings if you could just easily buy it for less? Just go ahead and buy one of the cheap ones. Obviously, it's not that easy to buy them for less, or you wouldn't be talking so much about higher listings. And unfortunately, I really don't know what this person is, like what they're referring to. I'm not upset. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated, certainly. The card that I highlighted that apparently this person is not aware of. So there was an overpriced listing for a PSA 10 Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. Now that card is worth around $2,000. That's what it's worth. So what should you pay? And I've gone over this in previous weeks. If a card is worth $2,000, you should pay no more than $2,000. But pretty much the sweet spot would be about $1,800. So if you pay $1,800 for a PSA 10 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey rookie card, then you are paying what it's worth. If you pay less than $1,800, you're getting a deal. So that's it. So from $1,800 to $2,000, that's what the card's worth, and that's what it should. Now, this eBay seller was selling it for $6,500. I don't know about you, but now I'm not upset in the way that like, oh my God, my life is ruined. I'm just sort of like, does the person that's selling it know that they are just so far above the market? Do they just want to screw someone over? Like, there is a thing in this hobby where people literally want to screw you over, and apparently Freedom Fight doesn't care about that. Freedom Fight is like, what's the problem? That's totally fine. Like, you can legitimately have that opinion. You want to screw people over. I get it. Freedom Fight, you don't care about people. That's fine. That's what the hobby's about. A hobby's about, there are people that actually want to be nice people, and then there's a camp of people in the hobby that are scammers and want to screw people over. Freedom Fight's in this other camp. And so he clearly doesn't understand where I'm coming from, which I understand, because I'm in the nice guy, camp. Like, I'm in the, why should we make the hobby just a complete cesspool? Freedom Fight's in the cesspool community. I get it. He's like all the other influencers. He's in the cesspool, and I'm in the, the kiddie pool. I'm in the nice pool. I'm in the, it's just not necessary. Do I want you to make money? Of course I want you to make money. I don't want you to lose money, but if you don't want to lose money, you should stop overpaying for cards. End of story. I have overpaid for cards. I'm admitting that. I've overpaid for cards. I'm fine with that. I have overpaid for cards, and I'm okay with that. I bought the cards, I made the mistake, and I overpaid. There were cards that I bought during the pandemic boom that it was sort of like I overpaid for them. But at the time, they were brand new cards in the pandemic, and they're just not that common cards. Like, I bought an Adam Fox rookie patch auto card. It's just, there's not many of them, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to find one in the future. So I bought it from somebody in Canada because there are no hockey cards like that here where I live. So it's about scarcity that I was like, okay, so how much did I overpay for that card? I paid $50 more than I should have, but it's $50. It's not breaking my bank. And that's my point, is for any of you that are overpaying, like if you bought that Ken Griffey Jr. for $6,000, that's overpaying by $4,000. $4,000 is a lot of money. I don't know about you, but $50 and $4,000 is not the same category. So Freedom Fight, I don't know. I don't know where you're coming from, but there you go. All right, let's get to the second comment. This is from Jay Giuliano. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. But here we go. This is what he says. I agree with you if we're talking about postmodern 1980 cards. I would say you are wrong in the 3-year horizon generally for pre-1980 singles cards. If I'm wrong, modern is toast. And that's from the don't tell anyone the secret of the sports card hobby. So honestly, Jay, guess what? You're wrong. Modern is toast. And that's actually, you're correct in your assessment, even though you don't want to admit it. You admit it. Modern is toast. There are going to be very few cards from modern wax. So baseball, football, basketball, hockey, there's going to be very, very few, like a handful of cards that are going to be worth any money 10 years down the road. Hockey, I can tell you right now, Connor McDavid is one of them. That's it. So if you don't have Connor McDavid, you're not going to do well. Like I showed you guys in the mail day, I picked up a whole bunch of these hockey cards. So here we go. We got Owen Power. It's a good player. Quentin Byfield, good player. Not going to be worth anything in the future. Just not. I'm literally just picking them up because I just want them in my PC. I'm making a hockey PC. And these are guys that I think are good players. That's it. Will I save them in the future? Maybe, maybe not. But I didn't spend a lot for them. I spent about $3 each for these cards. So for $3, I have them in my PC. Will I make the $3 back? Probably not. Like I'll probably have to sell them in the future for 50 cents. I think you need to understand. Modern is toast. In baseball, right now, Shohei Ohtani is the player. Do I think in 10 years he will still be the player? There's a possibility. I wouldn't guarantee it. Honestly, baseball has got a lot of problems. I'm just going to say this. Baseball has a lot of problems. So, there's declining viewership of baseball. Baseball has a lot of problems. I don't know where baseball is going to be in 10 years. So that's the issue is, do they fix the sport? In football, so who for modern in football? Well, Patrick Mahomes is a no-brainer. Yeah, if you own Patrick Mahomes cards, yes. Like, that's the longevity. If you have anybody else, if you have Joe Burrow, if you have Herbert, Josh Allen, sorry, modern is toast. Modern is toast. If you have CJ Stroud, modern is toast. Unless CJ Stroud can win 2 or 3 Super Bowls. At this point, you have to win 3 Super Bowls. Like, it's crazy to think what you have to do in order to be like at the top end. Tom Brady has legitimately broken football. Like, he's got 7 Super Bowls. He's been to 10 appearances. Like, he's broken football. He's broken the NFL. He's broken the model. And that's the issue. So, same thing with hockey. Like, Wayne Gretzky is so far better than anyone that there's nowhere to compare. Like, Alexander Ovechkin's a great player. But, so even if he beats Wayne Gretzky's goal scoring record, which is still really not, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. This might be the last season for Alexander Ovechkin, and I don't know if he can actually score enough goals. Because I don't think, he was injured last year. He didn't play the whole season last year. If he doesn't play this whole season, I don't think that he gets enough goals to even be within shooting distance of Wayne Gretzky's record. And this is my point, is modern is toast. So that's why I'm working on this top 100 players guide, basically creating this magazine, Card Hoarder Nation, magazine, and trying to get to you guys the information that you need so that it makes more sense, this hobby, because there's a lot of information out there and a lot of it doesn't make any sense. All right, want to thank you, Jay, for that comment. And let's get to the last comment. This one is a doozy. And I'm just going to say this right now. There is a lot of information in here. It is a great comment. This is the kind of stuff that I love to see on this channel because there's a lot to unpack. So let's get into it. This is from OG YouTube, which you got to love the name. All right, here we go. I think it's impossible to create a mathematical formula for how much a card is worth if it is a modern card. All right. So we're talking about the same thing, modern versus vintage, modern versus vintage. All right, the reason I say this is because of what so few people consider, which you have mentioned, and that is manufactured rarity. The Mickey Mantle PSA 10 is rare because it is so old and the likelihood of another PSA 10 surfacing is so unlikely. All right, we're gonna stop right here because I wanna unpack this first. All right, the fact that we are designating and separating PSA 10 from the rest of the cards is one of the things that you guys just need to be aware of, all right? And that's the thing, that this is a modern thing. Like back in the day, there was no real grading. Nobody cared about grading. No one cared about grading. I need you to be aware of that. Obviously, these cards were graded back in the day because otherwise they would have degraded over time. But no one cared about grading. The only ones that were grading things were really set collectors. They were doing the set registry, and they were putting all of their cards in PSA slabs to basically register it with PSA. That's the reason why people graded back in the day. They didn't care about grading. So there's a shorter amount or a smaller amount of PSA 10 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie cards than there are of the whole market of Mickey Mantle rookies. All right, so we're going to separate PSA 10 from all the other Mantle rookies, which you need to be aware of. There are thousands of Mickey Mantle 1952 rookie cards. Thousands. This is not a rare card. I know that's hard psychologically to kind of go, oh, it's not rare? No, it's not rare. There are thousands of 52 Topps Mickey Mantle cards. Thousands. There's a handful, I believe there's 4. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I believe there's 4 PSA 10 52 Mantle rookie cards, 4 of them. So that means that there's 4 at the PSA 10 level. There's one 9.5 SGC. That's the card that sold for $11.5 million, which makes the PSA 10 worth around $20 million. That's what it's worth based on the sale of the 9.5 SGC. So anybody that's telling you that a PSA 10 1952 Mantle rookie card is worth $50 million is insane. They're insane. I'm just telling you, they're insane. And that's fine. People are allowed to make up whatever number they want. Now, is it possible that someone might actually spend $50 million on that card? Yes, because people are insane. But you're never going to be able to get that card. And if you hope, this is the worst thing you could do with buying sports cards, is hope that you could sell it for something astronomical, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose that hope. So don't ever buy a card hoping that you can sell it for more. You better know on the back end what the card is worth, as well as if you have a buyer that's willing to give you that money. That's a whole different story. That means that you're a broker. So if you buy a card because you know you have a buyer on the back end, absolutely buy that card and sell it. Sell it fast. So if you have someone who's going to spend $50 million on a PSA 10 Mickey Mantle card, then yeah, go to somebody and say, look, I'll give you 30 mil because it's worth 20. So somebody who doesn't sell it for 30 is an idiot. But okay, so sell it for 30 and then sell it for 50 immediately. Sell it. But you're never going to get that. It's not going to happen. So the PSA 10 Mickey Mantle is worth 20. Therefore, everything else is worth less. Everything else. And because you're buying the grade and not the card, which is hard psychologically to understand, the grade, not the card. Yes, folks, you're building PCs. So, I know my audience is all about building PCs. My audience is all about building PCs. So stop spending all of your money on these cards. Stop doing that. You need to psychologically understand that there's no reason to spend all your money. Just get the cards. Like, I don't need these cards graded. I don't need them graded. I bought them. They're $3 each, $3 each. That's it. This one was $1. You know, like this was $1. This was $1. This was $1. This was $2. Here we go. I bought this one for, I think, an auto. I think I got it for $3 or $5. Like, I don't know, not much. I got this one for a quarter. I got this one for $1. Like, you understand, like, what I'm not spending a whole lot of money. I'm not. I've sold a whole bunch of cards. I've made $100 worth of cash, and now I'm spending that $100. So I bought all of these cards. I haven't even spent $100. I also did a trade. So I traded something in for another $250. So I haven't even spent all of that money, and look at what I've got. And that's my point. My point is that you can get everything you want for a lot less than you think. If you go and buy a wax box for $49, you've wasted $50. Don't waste your money. I get all of this for less than $50. All of these cards for less than $50. And that's what you guys need to start doing, is start being a lot more economical with your money and deploying it in a much better way. Also, if you have $50, go to a card show. Go to a card shop and say, look, I got $50 to spend. How much are you willing to deal with me? Because anytime you're going to spend up, so if you have $50, definitely go to that dollar bin box. Go to that $3 bin box, that $5 bin box, and be like, look, I got $50. These are all $5 cards. Will you give me 15 cards? I mean, that's how you start to build out your PC without spending all of your money. So if you're looking for cards, go to a store, go to a show. You have $50. Now you're spend $50 wisely instead of wasting $50. That's what I want you guys to do. All right, let's get back to this comment. Let's unpack the rest of this. Here we go. Taking a 1980 Rickey Henderson, a mathematical formula could probably be used for that, looking at print runs, time elapsed since print, player ranking, and other metrics, but a modern 101 Wemby is not the same. The same set, you have 47 different Wembys, all the same freaking photo, just different color borders. Essentially, how lazy. And the manufacturer chose a different color to the 101, hence manufactured scarcity. Add to that the multiple sets from multiple manufacturers. Wemby has no ranking yet, and may or may not in the future. There are 46 other cards of his set alone. Some wealthy, overly wealthy, so here we go. Some overly wealthy person who got into the hobby may pay $1 million for a 2023 Wemby 101. Good for them, but what if 3 years from now Wemby turns out to be a dud and not an all-time great? Is that 101 still worth $1 million just because it's rare? No, but will the Mickey Mantle still be worth an insane amount? Yes. All right. Awesome comment, and I know a lot of you agree with this sentiment. And so here's what I'm gonna say. There's a sucker in every room, and if you can't see the sucker, you're it. Stop worrying about what the one-of-ones do. It is a gambling racket. And I'm using that word specifically. It is a gambling racket. You need to stay away from gambling. Will Wemby be a superstar in the NBA? And I'm saying this, I don't think I'm going out on a limb. Yes, he is the future of the NBA. There's no doubt about it. His season was unbelievable, and that was his rookie year. He played better than Kobe did in his rookie season. And I'm not saying that he's going to be better than Kobe because he's a different type of player. He's 7'2". Kobe was not 7'2". But can Wemby potentially win championships? I don't know. That's where the Spurs have to actually build a team around him. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Michael Jordan did not win championships when he first came into the league. They had to build a team around him, and then Jordan never missed any shot that needed to be made. He hit so many clutch shots. So if Wemby can do that, if Wemby can hit clutch shots and they can build a team around him, then he's going to win multiple championships. I'm just saying that. He's going to win multiple championships. LeBron has multiple championships. Is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? No. And I know there's going to be a lot of arguments, and you guys are going to give me comments, no, LeBron's better. And that's fine. You're allowed to argue if you think LeBron's better than Michael. But you're allowed to make that argument because that's the beauty of sports. In terms of value, is, Wemby going to be worth more than LeBron cards? Probably not, because of the fact that LeBron cards there were less LeBron cards than there are Wemby cards. These manufactured 101s, they're collector's items. So what I need you guys to stop doing is start realizing that these are collector items. And so when you put a premium on a collector item, do you really, really, really want a Wemby 101? No, you don't. The only reason anyone's buying these 101s is because they have this mindset that they're going to be worth a lot of money. And that's the issue, that's gambling. That's not collectors. Don't buy any of these overpriced cards. Don't buy them. Don't buy into the hype. Don't buy into the psychology. Don't buy into the gambling. These are collector items. A 101 is a collector item. Would I like a 101? Depends. It depends on who the player is. It depends on what the card looks like. Basically, by just creating a card and putting 1 of 1 on it, but it's the same card as the base, I don't want it. And I think that's what you guys need to understand. Upper Deck has done something this past year that no one had ever done before. And what they have is they have what's called Starburst cards. So it's the same photo of the player, but it's photoshopped out. They basically cut it out and they put a Starburst, basically this background on it, and it's a short print. It's a beautiful card. So would I like a Starburst of a player that I want? Yes, because it's a beautiful card and it's a short print. And so it's a collector's item. Okay, so only a certain amount of collectors can have it. Now, how much would I pay for that? I'm not paying a premium. I'm not paying $1,000 for a Starburst short print like a Connor Bedard. I would not pay $1,000 for a Connor Bedard Young Gun Starburst. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's insane. I wouldn't pay $1,000 for a rookie card because Connor Bedard is not a superstar yet. And I don't know if he's ever going to win a Stanley Cup because you have to build a team around them. And in hockey, the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win of all the championships. You could be a superstar in the league and never win a Stanley Cup. That's my point, is that hockey is so unpredictable and you need so many things to go the right way. Connor McDavid is the best hockey player in the world. Legitimately, he's the best hockey player in the world. And he is probably the closest hockey superstar since Wayne Gretzky. I'm just saying this. He is unbelievable. And he still hasn't won a Stanley Cup. He made it to the Stanley Cup Finals last year for the first time, and he still hasn't won a cup. So that's my point, is that you have to be careful with buying these players, because you're sort of buying hope, and that's not the way to collect. You should collect the players you like, you should collect the cards that you like, and you should build a PC that you're proud of. That's the goal. Build a PC that you're proud of. Stop chasing after the gambling aspect of this hobby. And that's, again, I really appreciated OG YouTube for that comment, because that's what we're talking about on this channel, is stop chasing the psychology of gambling. Stop chasing after these one-of-ones. Are one-of-ones collector's items? Yes. Are all of them good? No. No, all of them are not good. And yes, there is supply and demand. So if it's a one-of-one that everybody knows, it's like, yeah, So like National Treasure one-of-ones are interesting, like Logo Mans are interesting, because they're really rare and they're cool. And so, yeah, you're going to pay a premium for that. Now, are they worth what they're selling for right now? No, they're not. And once the economy starts to come down, and it's already doing that, and people have less money to spend, and wealthy people are not stupid. There are suckers in every room, and the people who are buying these things are not wealthy. I'm going to just tell you right now, the people buying the Logo Mans and all of these other chase cards are not wealthy. They're putting it on their credit cards. They are going into debt. They are borrowing money from someone to pay for these cards, because there's this hope and dream that you'll be able to sell them on the back end. You will not. We have seen there's a whole YouTube channel that just basically talks about how much money people have lost on buying these high-end cards, and then they have to sell them in auction at Golden, at Heritage, and they're losing thousands and thousands of dollars. Maybe I'll do a react video in the future for one of these videos, because these are great videos. I love them, of just everything losing, people losing thousands and thousands of dollars. If you don't want to lose $1,000, subscribe to this channel right now, because you will not lose $1,000 with me. You will not lose all your money if you follow me. Put it down in the comments. Which players are you collecting? Which sets do you like the most? I finished a 1955 top set. Somebody on Reddit is looking to do a 1955 set. And so I reached out to them and said, look, I have a whole bunch of 1955 tops. I actually have enough to create a starter set. If that's what you're looking for, let me know. If you haven't bought any, then this is the best way to start your 1955 set, because you get a whole bunch of cards. Because if you want to buy single cards out of the 1955 set, you're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, we already know who's the rookies. You got Clemente rookie, you got Koufax rookie, there's so many rookies in the 55 set. Plus, you've got all the superstars. You got Willie Mays, you got Duke Snider. I mean, you've got so many superstars in the 55 set that it's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So that's my point, is you want to be able to pick up starter sets to get yourself going, and then you fill in with the more expensive cards, and maybe you only spend $15,000 on creating a 1955 set. Again, this whole set is worth so much money. Again, common cards in the 1955 set can be anywhere from $15 to $18 if you buy them one each. That's a lot of money. If you start adding it all up, it's about 600 cards in a set. So that's thousands and thousands of dollars. If you buy in bulk, if you buy a starter set, you can get, let's say 30, 40, 50 cards for a few $100s. That lowers your price per card. And that's what I want you guys to do. is to start making better decisions with your money and building the PC that you want. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week. We're going to do a few more weeks of episodes, then I'm going to go on vacation, so I want you guys to be aware of that. And if you have any questions, put them down below, and I will see you next week.
There's only one show. There's only one show I wanna watch. Edi Sports Show every Friday. From interviews and car news to the sports behind the scenes, only one show covers the deeds. Edi Sports Show. There's only one show. There's only one.